Hello guys, yo, welcome back everyone to another video. Today we're checking out Java Edition mentioned features. Um, like I said in the previous videos, I will leave a link to the site so you can support the creator, writer, or owner of this website in this forum or this guide, whatever. Um, so yeah, shout out to them. I'm giving credits to them. Shout out to this creator, writer, owner that wrote this. And yeah, like I said, I will leave it down in the description down below to the link of the site so you can support as well. Alright, so there might be a lot of the same um things, so we're just gonna do it. Alright. Okay, so plan. These features are planned to come to Minecraft sometime in the future. A new combat system is currently in development containing changes such as the player only being able to attack when their weapons is fully drawn, voted updates, yada yada. Okay, now we're on to new ones right now. Doc77 confirmed. Shout out to Doc M77. He's from Minecraft, and shout out to him. He's really amazing, and he does fantastic at what he does, and he has great content on YouTube and everything. So he's a great guy. But anyway, Doc M77 confirmed in a tweet that sometime in the future, a new graphics settings will be added to Minecraft called Super Fancy. It is unknown when either it is the fabulous graphics settings added in 1.16 pre-release 1 or another one. The use of OpenGL 3.2 for rendering in 1.17 may lead towards super fancy graphics. This could be also a reference to the ray tracing functionality in Minecraft Bedrock Edition or the scrapped Super Duper graphics pack. Phasing out of NPM-based crafting recipes. In Java Edition 1.14, numerous new blocks were implemented as replacements for certain complex crafting recipes, with the replaced crafting recipes relying on MPT data. This included moving inventory tool repair to the grindstone, banner modification to the loom, and map modification to the cartography table. However, several more MBT-based crafting recipes still exist, and they are still planned to be phased out. Certain blocks that may be added into the feature to further this goal include a dedicated fireworks customized block. And Java Edition 1.14.3, 2 repair crafting recipes were re-implemented. Full split of liquids from blocks. Java Edition 1.13 added waterlogging, marking the start of the separation. An in-development screenshot showing water occupying leaves and flowers, referring to having no water blocks released in 2018. However, water and lava still exist as blocks, and so far only water sources can compile other blocks through the waterlogging block state. Flowing water and bubble columns cannot occupy other blocks and flowing lava cannot occupy other blocks at all. Having water only occupy on one side of a block like a glass pane, but not the other, is also something that has been considered. Shaders. On the feedback site, shaders, texture packs that have shadows and color lighting were marked as announced, meaning that they were going to implement it. Particularly implemented in 1.16 and 1.17 as resource packs can enable similar effects. Farming nerf. Somewhere in 1.16, developers stated that certain changes would be made, which are exploded in several forums in particular. Fortress mobs can spawn anywhere inside of the boundary of a nether fortress, rather than only at the roads. Angry zombified penguins drops experience even when not killed by the player directly. The skulk mechanics introduced in 1.19 may be intended as a replacement. Delayed or removed/scrapped. These features were initially promised to be implemented in a specific update, but were later postponed and have now currently been made part of another update. Fletching table functionality. Fletching tables are set to gain functionality in a later update, similar to what happened with smithing tables, originally added as a generic village job site block and then received the player functionality in a future update. Originally, that this was planned for the next major themed update. Later, it was stated that the functionality wasn't guaranteed for 1.16. Later, it was confirmed that the Fletchton tables wasn't be gaining functionality at 1.16. To this day, they still have no right-clicking functionality. Alright, so we have done bundles, archaeology, fireflies. Alright, so here's this. Updates to Birch Forest and other biomes. In Minecraft Live 2021, it was stated that the Wild update would focus on biome diversity and immersion and giving a unique entity and atmosphere to different biomes. The Birch Forest was given as an example to show what they wanted to look like. And concept art pieces dispensing an approved birch forest with new flowers, shelf fungi, tree branches, and falling logs were shown. Later, it was stated that concept art is not a commitment, and that this part of the update was now not something we have continued working with in an Ask Mojang episode. Partially implemented. These feature has been shown off by Mojang staff member, but had no further developments or were cancelled or others. So, okay, biome. The sky, a hidden biome before Java Edition Beta 1.9 pre-release for. This biome was exclusively to in the sole biome of the sky dimension. It would generate floating islands with oceans of air surrounding them. Trees were uncommon, no weather occurred here, and had small patches of snow, although it would not accumulate again. It had green with some extra blue hull for foliage colors. This biome was introduced in Java Edition Beta 1.6, along with the sky dimension itself. While the sky dimension was removed, its biomes and associated terrain generation were repurposed for use in the end. Ice Desert Cornered, a biome in the code before Java Edition Beta 1.8 that was supposed to generate a maximum coldness and dryness, but did not actually generate due to bugs. It was a biome of sand with snow on top of it and had snow fall and ice. Blaze 3D. A new Java Edition rendering pipeline called Blaze 3D has been confirmed many times by Surge. There are also many references to the system in the game's file, although it's not yet been fully implemented. Colored wood planks. Dinnerbone, shout out to Dinnerbone. He was in a few UHCs and I think was in part of Minecraft or was also Mojang staff and was working for Mojang and Minecraft. But shout out to Dinnerbone, man. He is a really awesome person. Dinnerbone briefly thought about implementing colored wood planks, releasing at a test image on his Twitter page. This, however, never got implemented, as can be seen from the following quote. The idea was eventually replaced with colored terracotta. Later update has since then introduced new wood sites that resemble some of the dyed plank colors. The update that changed the world added orange and brown planks in the form of acacia and dark oak wood. The Nether update added purple and cyan planks in the form of crimson and warped wood. And the Wild update added red planks in the form of mangrove wood. Alright. Skawjaw. It was seen at Minecraft Live 2020 as part of the Deep Dark announcement. This was when walking on it, it would change its texture. It is presumed that it would do damage to players and it could be broken with the hull, like with the other Skulk block. It was presumed to be added in a Wild update, but Dinnerbone revealed that it was unlikely to be added in the final release. In the end, it was not added. Dirt Slab. Before Stone Slab were added to 0.26, Notch ran a test of dirt slabs. Dirt slabs were removed to a bug which replaced all dirt blocks with them. In the original Kings and Clans announcement, an item called the brush was showcased, which appears to be able to lower the height of certain blocks. However, it has been confirmed that this is only a special breaking animation and can't be used to physically make slabs. And like I said, the Sky Dimension. The Sky Dimension was a plane dimension intended to be the opposite of the Nether. It could be accessed using third-party programs, but Portal to the Sky Dimensions were never implemented. The idea was ultimately scrapped, and its code were used to make the end, which can be seen in version prior to 14W17A, as the end technical biome was referring to the debug menu as Sky. Unlike the Sky Dimension, the end has a dark purple sky, no clouds, and a floating island are made entirely out of endstone. While the addition of buffet functionality in Java Edition 1.13 Snapshot 18W15A, this can be distantly recreated by using the floating islands options. Then addition of a custom world generation in Java's Edition 1.16.2 Snapshot 20W28 A also included a Minecraft floating island node present offering similar functionality. Mention. These features were mentioned at one point but later abandoned as their current state is unknown. Know that some of these features were mentioned by developers who either no longer work at Mojang or no longer work on Minecraft. Mobs. There has been several cases of mobs being mentioned by developers as potential candidates for being added to the game. Red Dragon. Notch revealed during the 8th Secret Friday update that he was planning to add dragons. Later, he mentioned dragons again during Minecon 2010. On October 12, 2011, he announced on Twitter that after addition of the Ender Dragon, he was planning to add slightly less dangerous Red Dragon, which will be able to land and wouldn't destroy terrain. In a Reddit thread on the same day, which questioned about how Ender Dragon phased through blocks, Notch went on record saying that the less overpowered the Red Dragons in the overworld that wouldn't have to go terrain would eventually be added. However, the Red Dragon has not been synced to it, been added. Jeb, shout out to Jeb, he's fantastic job at Mojang, and for Minecraft, he does an amazing job. Shout out to Jeb. Jeb informed participants of his MA on Reddit that he would add Red Dragons, but was unsure exactly how. On October 22, 2013, Dinnerbone, shout out to Dinnerbone, again, Minecraft and stuff, shout out to him, he's an amazing person. Dinnerbone tweeted that the Red Dragon is shelved and not in development. It was never promised, we have no plans to add the Red Dragon at this time. Later, on December 15, 2013, a dinner post on Reddit indicated his belief that Red Dragons likely will be implemented at some point. I'm sure one day there will be. Not right now, though. Alright, so we got that. That's cool. Alligators, we already talked about that in the last episode. Piglin Bodyguard. Development of a male mob which may have no clothes was also mentioned by Dinnerbone in 2012. But this is not currently being worked on. On April 14, 2020, Dinnerbone clarified that the mob was going to be a pigman bodyguard, which was naked by default so that the player could provide armor for it. Abiant mob, or whatever. In 2012, John something mentioned about birds, fish, and tree animals to make the game seem more alive. And parrots and 4 different fish mobs were added in 2017 and 2018, respectively. Prefix mobs. Notch mentioned prefix mobs in a Brocraft stream. He gave examples of mobs such as the burning spiders, giant zombies, and a cobble creepers. Some prefix mobs has been added in the form of cave spiders, charge creepers, strays, husk, drowned, and other mob variants. Giant zombies have technically been added but are currently unused. In the 3D shareware April Fool's update, the order textually mentioned 11 new enemy variants included Buff Creeper and Evil Shroom for a fake game, Minecraft 3D Deeper and Darker. Lava, Zombie, and Troll. Before the implementations of hostile mobs, Notch stated that he liked the ideas of monsters such as lava, zombies, or troll infestations which roam the land and break things. Later, the zombie was implemented. Reindeer. Reindeer was another mob unknown and suggested initially for Christmas 2015. Minecraft Earth version 0.60 added the Jolly Llama, which is supposed to represent a reindeer. It is currently unknown if reindeer will one day be added to Minecraft or not. Camouflaged mob. A mob which camouflaged its environment was a concept considered by Jeb, which designed the Shulker, which originally was one of the mob's mechanics during development. The mob would camouflage with the surroundings, but due to difficulties with the codes and rendering, he decided to abandon this element of the mob. He stated, however, that it may happen in the future. Illager variants. In 2017, a Daschler suggestion regarding adding more types of villagers was posted. One of them, the Pillager, has been implemented in Java Edition 1.14, the Village and Pillage update. In Minecraft Dungeon, there is a mob known as the Assalager, known international, or I don't know what it's called, as the Chillager. This mob was also part of the 2020 mob vote. More ocean creatures. A more recent developer hinted about adding mobs involved adding seals / sea lions and or orcas. This may be related to dolphins, which were added about a month later in 18W15A. Soulfire Blazes. Soulfire Blazes were talked about by Jeb. He stated that he doesn't want to make another mob variant, but that it would be interesting to make a mob connected to Soulfire. Audio loops. Loops were unused sounds found in the game files and were possibly meant for when the players in a specific type of location in the caves, forest, the ocean, besides the waterfalls. Trees. Several features regarding trees has been mentioned throughout the game's history. Notch mentioned branches in a blog post during InDev. The addition of sideways logs seems to be an alternative for branches, implemented on the coarse trees and acacia trees, but not on original trees. Patrick Goudreau had exposed a desire to see cherry trees in the game. However, no mention of them being potentially added has ever surfaced. The implementation of falling trees like those currently in Bedrock Edition has been also brought up, but appears to never have been actually undertaken beyond this mention in a Java Edition. In Minecraft Live 2021, a fallen tree was present in a concept art of a birch forest. Two tree species were mentioned at the buy and vote for Minecon 2018 called the palm and baobab. However, both were voted against and are yet to appear in the game despite being promised implemented later. Cave and underground features. Many features relating to the underground and caves has been mentioned hysterically, but are yet to be seen in-game. Some suggestions which were approved by Mojang including rainbow crystalline caves and cave maps considered an interesting idea by Notch. Added buffet worlds which had an option for cave-like generation. More ores and cave types was a general target proposed by Dinnerbone in late 2013. Since this post, flooded underwater caves has been implemented along with 1.16 added ancient debris and nether gold ore, and 1.17 added copper ore and amethyst crystals. A Minecraft Live 2020 Caves and Cliffs update was announced bringing more new types of caves. Inventory changes. And the inventory rewrites was originally added in the snapshot 14W7A for Java Edition 1.8, but a roadblock was hit and they had to shelve it before the release of 1.8. Other changes to the inventory has been mentioned, including spectators can now look at people's inventories, visible health / armor balls on all players, seeing players' GUI when spectating from the POV, and the return of shift double clicking. Nether features. Multiple features relating to the Nether has been proposed and unleashed, such as utilizing the space above the Nether ceiling for something else, non-rectangular Nether portals, and Nether portal placing players in front if possible. During the development of the Nether update, other ideas were discussed, such as dyeable Nether portals were dismissed as not being priority by Jeb. As a joke feature in Java Edition 20W14, funky portals were added and would change color depending on the text data found in a written book. Rare tools and / weapons. Dinnerbone said on Twitter he would like to add weapons / tools that cannot be crafted and only obtainable by treasure chest / trading, etc. For example, bows with faster drawbacks, somewhat implemented with the addition of quick charge, boots that increase health, or night vision helmets. However, the tune system has yet to be finished first. Frostwalker and Mending were implemented as treasure enchantments in 1.9, as well as the Curse Binding and Vanishing in 1.11, and Tridents has been implemented in 1.13 and Drown exclusive weapons. Someone implemented this feature in 1.16. Treasure enchantments has been made less accessible, therefore more rare. Nerfing AFK fishing and the new Soul Speed enchantment exclusively obtainable through Piglin bartering. Resource packs. Grum mentioned that there may be easier customizations of chat and sheep colors. Alright, there is spike blocks. Spikes received a mention in mid-2009 by Notch in a blog post. These were originally planned for Java Edition Beta 1.7, working by extending and retracting spikes and making them more spike pistons than anything, but were replaced by sticky pistons. On May 28, 2012, Dinnerbone stated that he'd like to add spike blocks, but is unsure of how to implement them. The 1.17 update implemented pointed dripstone, which can damage mobs and players that falls on them or crushed by them. By the way, I have never seen a pointed dripstone damage me or crushed by me from the ceiling. I don't know why that's not a thing, or I don't know how you activate it. Steel. Multiple references to steel were made early in the game's development. Notch has stated that it could be made using coal and iron ore, and that it could be used for armor and weapons more powerful than iron in-game. The flint and steel is crafting using iron ingots. Offhand, the cubic chunks. The refers to changing the chunk formats to make chunks 16 blocks tall, allowing for infinite world height. Ryan Holtz discussed it with Eric Berger. Sorry if I cannot pronounce the names correctly on any of the names that I mentioned in the previous few videos. Sorry, sometimes I have a hard time knowing what the words are in the names. But they decided they couldn't implement it because of the difficulty of solving problems such as location of the skylight. The feature was previously rejected by Notch for similar reason. Brief mentions. These features were briefly mentioned, but no further information was given after its mention. General features. Partially implemented more structures and biomes since this was mentioned. Woodlands Mansion, End Cities, Shipwrecks, Underwater Ruins, Pillager Outposts, Ruin Portals, and Bastion Remnants has been implemented. More dimensions, implemented in the April Fool's Update Java Edition 20W14A, and a Minecraft Snapshot 21W21A, the ability to make custom dimensions was added. Partially implemented more rare structures and terrain changes, partially added with ice spikes. Partially implemented all exclusively Bedrock Edition feature ported to Java Edition. Okay, so more specific features mentioned in 2009. In early development, Notch mentioned 2 more game modes, Team Survival Mode and Fortress Mode, which will include the ability to play Capture the Flag. Woo! Additionally, difficulty modes were mentioned, which was Walk in the Park being the easiest, which was added, and Armagon being difficult even though with 32 people. Partially implemented cobwebs blocks being created by spiders. This functionality appears in Attack the Minecraft Dungeon. After denying the addition of penguins, Notch stated that a penguin hat would be a pretty neat Easter egg. Mentioned in 2010, animated swinging doors. Partially implemented, Mega Beasts were mentioned as a potential addition for late game challenges, along with Ill Omens followed by a night of absolutely horror. Idea of Ill Omens were flickering torches and a big red eye appearing on the moon, which would look around. The Ender Dragon was added in 1.0. The Bad Omen effect was added in 1.14. A realism slider for difficulty, collision clouds, server portals, moon, partially implemented dungeon mode, same as survival mode, except players can't craft or modify the world. Planned to have been used to play missions on pre-made maps. The later implemented on adventure mode functionality similarity. Clan mode, most likely the same as team survival mode mentioned in 2009. Server-side scripting, land clan flags. Planting a flag possibly cost gold in survival mode. Claim an area of land. No monster can spawn or die from age in that area. And only selected players can build in that area. Dang. Smoke block would be generated by fire, be personal, cast shadows, float upwards, and disappear after a shorter time. 1.14 add campfires, which generate smoke particles similar to what that was mentioned, but they are not blocks and do not cast shadows. Gravity. All blocks except possible obsidian would be affected by gravity. Floating islands would need obsidian blobs to stay afloat. Notch later stated that he disliked the idea. And I would probably agree, otherwise I would probably never play Minecraft. Yeah. More crafting templates, arrows, foods, armor, etc. possibly added in Java Edition 1.14. And in-game anti-cheat, making the server check for flying, no clip, and increased speed. Add those options to the client, but only enable if the server says it's okay. Partially implemented. Make moss grow on rock. Likely that mossy cobblestone would spread the cobblestone. In 1.17, glow lighting was introduced functionality similar to the idea of growing on stone in caves and spreaded with bone meal. Mentioned in 2011, the ability to choose what work saves to the love files. Scarecrows. 1.14 added pillager outpost which can generate a scarecrow-like target structure. Storing of achievements and static online. Custom painting. Hand-drawn signs. Exploding arrows. Partially implemented with the ability to shoot firework rockets from crossbows. Mentioned in 2012. Vertical redstone. Ability to design village building, partially implemented with structure blocks. Silk touch hunting double slab blocks. Ability to pause the game in multiplayer, but only for ops. Users will then get to chat until the game is back. Minecarts usable as boats. More colors and texture packs customized the maps. Flower pots breaking when hit by arrows that has been added for coarse flowers. Partially implemented, fireworks have effects on mobs such as scaring wolves. Implemented with the lighter boosting and damaging mobs of explosive. Maps would have been more support for colors and support texture packs textures. Mentioned in 2013, minecart with dispenser. This image may have just been showcased. The custom title display in minecarts which were introduced the next snapshot 13W02A. Dinner Bones originally demonstration of the format for resource packs containing a sample properties files for fonts determined character sizes and spacing. Despite the game's code containing the code to read the files and never actually use them, leaving characters width and spacing to be determined dynamically. Enchanted items apply a druid on use, adding more places to display scores. Colored lighting. A better UI for servers admins OPs inspired by the Twitch user moderation menu. A resource pack related features that allow improvement Russian front display. better construction analysts, particularly implemented a new system that could alter weapon behavior. This has been partially implemented in Java Edition 15W34A with the implementation of attack speed. Easier way to implement terrain changes. Portable light, holding a torch in your hand while it provides light. A huge animation emote has been implemented in Bedrock Edition, including a hug animation available per purchase. Blocks of charcoal mentioned as something that would need to be implemented as not to completely exist of blocks of coal. Mentioned in 2014, improved camera controls. Dinnerbone has stated that he is an ultimate plan with endermites that might include the dragon egg. Rewrite the key binding system, building a custom sound system. Sheep showing their color when shorn like the Bedrock Edition. Multi-thread terrain generation rendering. Fixes to chunk loading. Another rabbit skin. Using the killer rabbit killing mobs for something. Magic mentioned in 2015. Corn. In game lore, implemented in the April Fool's updates, Java Edition 20W1414, where books written by Zeno would appear in end-ship chests containing shorts in unserious orders, making it so shields are used to blocking attacks from the side of the shield is on. Allowing mobs to have additional random skins similar to the kind of variation seen in horses, cats, and rabbits. Partially implementing giving/clone the ability to rotate and mirror structures. Structure blocks were later given the ability to rotate structures. Minecart improved after /1.10. Improvements to the GUI. These would allow the glowing effects to be seen on the inventory player model. Mentioning in 2016. Phasing out the minecart with furnace. New musical villages that trades note blocks, jukebox, and music discs. A dragon headband or pattern. If a piston gets powered and is unable to push, showing a smart particle effect and playing a small clunk sound. If the bow is used to craft a dispenser and enchanted, making the arrows fired from the dispenser to act accordingly. Mentioned in 2017. Ability to edit the skybox and biome/foliage/light colors and resource packs. A set of primitive blocks with the color scheme matching that the Elder Garden, similar to how regular prism engineered to normal guardians. Mentioned in 2018. Toggable enchantments glowing. Data-driven world generation using that for custom structures, particularly added in Snapchat 20W28A with the addition of experimental support for custom biomes. A portal that will teleport the player to a different place in the overworld. Mentioned in 2019, making beds use block models again, crawling animations, illusioners, and raids. The early 1.15 snapshots included textures for a crystallized honey item and wax blocks. However, these were not meant to make it into the game in the first place. Wax blocks could have been a placeholder for honeycomb, as it serves similar purpose to wax as 20W45A. The word wax is also applied when infusing honeycomb with a certain standard of copper block. Nether portals like things that will teleport the player to the moon of Mars. Mention in 2020. Partially implemented nether bolts presumed made out of the new wood or netherite to use in lava. Striders used a similar purpose. Mentioned in 2021. Making the world generation code part of the vanilla data pack inside a jar file. Mentioning in unknown years. Mob spawning would be more balanced, particularly implemented in 1.18 when monsters mobs will only spawn when the black light level is 0. On Minecraft feedback, Mojang announced that they would implement the idea for making hoppers and chest minecarts able to ride boats. The idea was so that it would be easier to transport items across waters. Stone chunks would be obtainable by smelting gravel and would be used to craft stone bricks. Joke features. Notch and Mojang Studios employees have frequently joked about adding various features to the game. Serious Joke stated that due to the fact that people did not like the changes in the 15W42 snapshot, he would add a fuel requirement to crafting tables. Koalas and tanking riding on planes with laser rifles was jokingly added to the maybe later list by Surge. Hot dogs. Herobrine. In every new major Minecraft update, it says removed Herobrine, but Herobrine was never implemented. This also has appeared in the changelog for Scrolls version 0.103.3. When hardcore mode was announced, a joke screenshot of ultra hardcore mode was shown where death would revoke an account's previous status. Jeb joked about adding chips if 100% of the community agreed on what type the chips would be. Jeb joked about adding more types of dragons. In response, Missman joked, "Dragons confirmed." Mark joked about adding top hats for 14. And if you want to read the rest, you can. I'm not going to go for much longer. I read for like so long now. I'm done. Anyway, if you guys want to keep reading this, there you go. I'm not going to keep doing this. This is way too long. But anyway, I got to go. It's already 35. I'm not going to be doing this for an hour. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And like I said, if I do get a copyright claim or a copyright strike from the site, I won't be able to post as much as I used to. And I will have to do something else. Also, again, I will shout out to the creator, the writer, the owner of this website. I will leave down a link to the website so you can go check it out. Give credits to the original creator and the writer or the owner. I appreciate every one of you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.